Okay. Oh! You can use the Wave Rider! Jeez, we're so far away. They should put one on this side, too. As fruitless as it is. Like, I have a feeling that despite the fact this is all empty ocean, they've hidden something in this giant space here for us to find, and we have to find it. Somehow. Maybe. Possibly. I gotta heal, so let's just go here. I was just listening to the music. I bet a deity like the Raiden Shogun also knows every time we go to her statue. So we should probably be careful about that. Like I said, I'm gonna talk to you all later. I promise. I just gotta go to the Kamisato estate first. Maybe I'd know what all this stuff is if I did read the stuff they posted as well. Well, that did the trick. Crush. So you have to use an elemental reaction, like superconduct, to break those. What is that? Onikabuto. A strange beetle that inhabits areas rich with electro energy. It's docile and something else. Nature, I guess. Are those electrosummatrals? Whoa, is this where Ayaka's character demo trailer was? With the river that she froze? Whoa. What is that? I'm sorry, what? Who are you? You're so cool.
Are you here to play with me?
Not really, but yeah, I'm gonna need you to get out of the way so I can watch this adorable little creature do its thing before it gets away. I think it already got away.
Let me amuse myself a little. Look at me. Just once more.
Great, we've angered everything in the area. I'd rather... Where the... What is it? Like... On second thought, this is actually letting me listen to the music more. I like it. Oh, hi. Here you are. Okay.
Yeah.
Great, so that's what I got out of all that. But, well, I got the entertainment. That was such a cute little creature. Was that a tanuki? I remember them talking about that in the in the... Oh! Here we are, the Kamisato estate.
Lightning flash!
There we go. Lightning flash! Here we go!
So, this is the kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be snazzier.
Well, it's hard to top the Jade Chamber or the Dawn Winery.
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guests. Miss Kamisato is delighted to finally meet you.
Is this the Shirasage Himegimi you keep going on about? So, where's she at? Oh, behind the screen?
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving guests. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is an unwelcome surprise.
This is slightly anticlimactic.
Makes sense. She's a super important person after all.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the times. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled underfoot. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds, given the contact we are required to have with them in the performance of our duties. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation without also remaining indifferent to our own fate. Traveler, lend us your power, and we can...
I'm just here to meet the Raiden Shogun. Ether, this is our chance to do something!
Oh,
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take us nowhere.
I'm going to leave now.
no, please, wait! Please, don't go!
What?
I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small wishes on my behalf.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt Decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world. Does Paimon got that right?
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. I will await your return here.
I will do as you wish.
Then you have my gratitude.
I'm sure you'll do great.
The princess behind the curtain. Mutakonda village and see. Well, I don't have all the teleport waypoints unlocked. I think I have one here. Yeah.
Let's see. Where's the person Ayaka told us about?
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden, after all these years?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had no time to prepare. The children are desperate for you to take them out to play. Please, we urge you to reconsider.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about. Let's go over and see.
Which one? Is this the warrior that protects the village? Ask the crowd for news.
Ah, you must also be here to try and convince Tejima to stay.
What's happened?
Tejima has protected this place ever since he arrived here 30 years ago. Keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels between the villagers. He has put an enormous amount of work into looking after this place, and we all think the world of him. But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans to leave us. We can't help but wonder, was it something
No,
we
I'm
did?
sure you're fine.
We will gladly apologize.
He's just been
if
here for
that's the
30
case.
years and needs a change of pace.
All we want is for him to stay.
And possibly he's sad after losing his vision. So why the change?
If you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt decree. It's clear that Tejima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. After that, he became a completely different person. I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. He went off on a walk, alone, circled the village a few times, and then out of the blue, he announced that he was going to leave and become a wanderer.
Yeah, I imagine it's kind of
Truth
like
be told,
losing an extension
we're
of
not
your
sure
soul.
whether trying to keep him here is the right thing to do. But equally, it doesn't feel right to let him leave when he's in this state. He's a lost soul.
Seems like he's a well-respected guy around here.
Well, hello there, Tejima.
You must be Tejima. So what's made you want to up and leave all of a sudden?
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of what reason I would have to stay.
Well, it sounds like these people want you to stay. But I can also understand why you'd want to
True,
leave.
but that's not why I chose to stay here. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why have I never wanted to leave in all that time? I don't have answers to those questions because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took my vision away, it's like
Actually, that sounds really serious if your memory is
my memory is gone.
been
In the
distorted.
past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's
I
gone
like
now.
this music.
So I thought, what's to stop me from moving around instead? The emptiness inside me will be there either way.
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover the reason you chose to stay, you won't need to leave anymore, right? But if you can't remember anything, it's not gonna be easy. Oh, maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then...
Somehow I feel like it
it'll
won't be
come
that
flooding
easy.
back?
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some fruit, I do believe I saw him writing in a diary.
I keep a diary? If you say so. I honestly can't seem to remember.
Oh, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time that you wanted to make a note of a few interesting things. Things which would prove very important at a later date.
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving, we just need to find his diary. It must be around here somewhere. Let's take a look.
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary. We should head back to the village to inform the others of Tejima's situation.
Okay. So, well, say what happens if, like, we destroyed that big statue with all the visions on it? Would everybody recognize which vision is theirs? Like, are they bonded to it? Or would you just have a bunch of random rocks and you have to keep trying it until you get the one that belongs to you?
This looks like Tejima's diary, all
Or you
right?
just automatically know?
Let's see what we have here. Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little, so I had to pretend that it was black snakehead instead. Today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was still in the water. I searched the water the whole afternoon.
Aw, these are just really nice
finding out
memories.
that Bamboo was the name of his pet crab. I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was never going to get it back, so I just found somewhere to sit and watch as it flew away into the distance. Seems like your average diary of daily village life. Huh? Wait, there's more! I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The Omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most treasured possession. Now that's the kind of info we're looking for. Time to pay a visit to the shrine.
I thought you were just going to remind him of all the happy memories he has in the village and realize that this is a reason worth staying. Oh, but this must be the little shrine.
So this is the Omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design, Paimon would have thought it belonged to a child. But anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of his elemental energy remained on it. Do you think that it might come in handy?
Maybe. I thought this was going to be him, like, helping him reawaken his aspirations without a vision, but I guess also what we're doing is kind of helping with find the elemental traces to reawaken that spark. What? Oh, here we go. Yay!
Here we are! This seems to be somewhere that Tejima visited a lot. The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Tejima buried something precious here. Something that kept him in the village all these years? Must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. Let's dig it up and take a look. It looks like a letter. The paper's gone yellow. Must have been written a really long time ago. Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is
It's
the
where we're
place
at, Paimon. If we become separated during war, go wait for me in Konda Village. There'll be a safe home for us there.
Huh. So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for someone. But he's been here for 30 years. Oh, guess they didn't show up in the end, huh? Well, let's go give Tejima his stuff back and take it from there.
Although I didn't think he needed a reason to stay here other than this is just where he's at. But I guess there is a reason why he's here. Hi.
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess the Omamorian letter belonged to me too. But I have no memory of anything that's written in this diary. Still, it's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait for 30 years. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. Anything that I could share with her when we were finally reunited. And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. The time has flown by so quickly. 30 years feels like the blink of an eye. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Now that I think about it, when my vision was taken from me, it felt like I'd suddenly been hollowed out. Love, regret, everything I felt
That's
for her,
actually really sad.
it's all disappeared.
Does that make you feel sad?
No, not especially.
I mean, I guess from your perspective, you don't
After
remember.
all, I've forgotten who she
So
was.
there's nothing to be sad about if you
Her face,
can't even remember what it was
her
in the
voice,
first place, I
The
guess.
things we experienced together. I barely recall any of it. It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing but a hazy dream.
So, do you still plan on leaving?
I think maybe not. If this is something I waited most of my life for, I suppose I should carry on waiting. Although, what if she were to turn up eventually, only to find I didn't remember so much as her name? Wouldn't that be upsetting for her? When I think about it like that, I do feel a slight tinge of sadness in my heart. How curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember
The story's
who
actually
she
a lot
is?
darker and more
It's just
serious
like that
than the
feeling
previous
of
two
emptiness.
chapters.
The feeling that something is missing. Thank you both for helping me reconnect with my reason for staying
You're
here.
welcome.
I shall remain here and keep waiting for her.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay, but still, it makes Paimon really
Yeah,
sad.
me too. Losing a reason to feel sad is maybe the saddest thing of all.
Seems it's just like Ayaka and Tomo were saying. If you lose your vision, you lose all your hopes and dreams too. That certainly explains the state.
I didn't think they
Tejima
meant
was in
that
earlier.
literally.
At least we were able to help
This is
him,
dark.
weren't we? Well, let's go find the next person.
I hope we revisit this storyline later.
According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission.
So any more thoughts about the Vision Hunt decree? Something that never changes. That's kind of profound, actually. This idea that, well, if you lose your ambition, nothing ever changes. You're stuck a certain way forever. Honda Tensuke. Tell me a bit about yourself, sir. Well, hopefully we can reopen it. That's what I actually kind of want, really. I hope that's what we get out of the stories. Things get to change. Also, I see now the Wave Riders from... So a lot of the things in version 1.6 were kind of like test runs. So like the Sea Ganoderma, Magu Kenki, and also the Wave Riders. I'm seeing a lot of Wave Rider checkpoints. Those are all here.
They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma. The ones actually enforcing the Vision Hunt decree. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation.
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions.
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand?
Oh, this guy lost his memories too, didn't he?
Greedy samurai.
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this.
Emergency food?
Oh, huh? And who are you?
Do I look like I'm part of his gang?
No doubt.
What?
Everyone else wasn't commenting on how our clothes are all outlanderish.
We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help us settle this matter. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything. He's keeping the provisions for himself, I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors.
He's probably kind
Just the
and he
same
got a
as all the other
vision
samurai.
because he was a
It's no
nice
wonder all the
person.
visions have been confiscated.
And
The Raiden
okay,
Shogun doesn't need people like
dude,
him
let
helping
me
rule the
explain
nation.
first.
Maybe one of the people Ayaka asked us to help.
Because his personality probably
Why would
changed
she
the moment his
ever want
vision
us
was
to help
taken.
Someone like him. Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and see what he has to say.
Yeah, well, he's right there. Or we can walk literally half a step over. That works too.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. If I was hoarding supplies, would I still be the poor
No.
man I am today? My own family can barely get by as it is. No, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to
We
attend
heard that
to.
you lost your vision recently.
And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work.
Nah, they probably just make up
Apparently,
excuses for everyone.
I'd even disappointed the Raiden Shogun. And
Just-
that's why they
take all the
confiscated
visions
my
away.
vision.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt Decree. Why would you be
Because they're
unworthy of
hunting
your vision?
visions.
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the details. All I know is that I would perform certain things every month. But I don't recall what they were. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like someone owes me something.
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provisions?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders, which is why I came here in the first place. I was chasing after them when I got held up by these two. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself. If there were any emergency provisions to be had, they would have found them.
Huh. He seems to be telling
Yeah,
the
and I think
truth.
there's misunderstanding
We
if
better
the...
confirm. Let's go round up those treasure
Because I think the
hoarders
regular
and see
people
what
don't
they
realize...
have to say. We should be able to follow their tracks. They
Yeah,
couldn't
they're
have
like,
gone too far.
well, they should take his vision away because he's not being a nice person. But no, it's the other way around. He's not being a nice person because they took his vision away. But then again, I guess that's kind of hard to explain when other people don't have visions. So I don't really blame them. Whoa. Every place is just whoa to me still. Oh, I don't have to fight them?
We really outdid ourselves
Mm-hmm.
this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jack.
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more where this came from. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and plunder that will go down in hoarder history.
You the man, boss.
These seem like the treasure
You the
hoarders we're
man.
after.
You the man, boss. Huh? We'll see about that once we're, like, through with you. And now you're not so cool after all.
Picked the wrong test subject.
Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss. Think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders?
Forget it. Tell us all you know about Kurosawa.
Kurosawa? Oh, I remember. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck. I knew he shouldn't have hit that place.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with food supplies?
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box, hopefully with valuables inside. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself once we got back. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box.
Yeah, freedom
for
seems
our
to be in
freedom.
short supply in this
What do you
place.
say?
You've got a deal. Now show us what's in the box.
Huh?
What the?
There's nothing in here but IOUs!
Yeah, a lot of them too. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store, a Miss Aoi. We're talking tons of Mora here. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom of this. As for you guys, you're free to go. Just pray that our
Yeah,
paths don't
you
cross
tell him,
again.
Paimon.
Yes, of course. So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean we broke even?
Shut it. Let's just
Yeah,
get
run
out of
while you
here.
still can. That's a cool elemental skill. Sorry, how far is this? Oh, is this where the adventure guild is? Oh, wait, we need to talk to Catherine. Where is it? Oh, here. Another Catherine. No, not in a single location. And they were one and the same? Oh, you mean like kind of, maybe it's just like the one consciousness going through all the different bodies. Hey, I also want to teleport to Fontaine. Oh. And all those benefits, even though I'm not even supposed to be here.
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Hi.
Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
More radish and the... Okay. I forgot what they're called already. There you go. Perfect. Where are we heading? Oh, here.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need. Can I help you find something? Or perhaps there's something you want to
Let's,
inquire about?
Yeah, about these IOUs.
Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay off his debts.
Sure.
Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn
Oh,
where they all
Paimon
came
laughs
from.
as she
How
says
did
that.
Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super expensive here?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover
So
the
he
cost.
has still been paying for the emergency provisions.
He started writing out IOUs to cover whatever he couldn't afford of the usual amount.
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased, couldn't he just
The number of
buy
people
less?
doesn't change, I think.
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain them each time. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough, especially after such long and careful planning. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Wow. Kurosawa was
I know, he's paying for them out of
purchasing all the
pocket.
emergency provisions at his own expense. never appreciated what he did.
Well, then we need to clear his name.
And held him accountable.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, nobody cares to think twice. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start,
Yeah,
then
they
there
might
wouldn't be
forgive him a
such
little bit.
severe backlash now. Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly a thankless deed. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions,
So these are
and never tell
emergency
anyone,
provisions. Why do people
I'm
need
still
emergency
not too
provisions each
clear
month? Others,
myself.
they're just regular
If you're
provisions?
still curious, why don't
He
you go
doesn't
ask him
remember.
yourself? I see. That reminds me. It seems that his vision
That's
was
correct.
recently confiscated. Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to him.
The
Sword?
big sword he was
What
carrying around.
sword?
Which I
Oh,
guess is very
Didn't he tell
special
you?
to him as well.
He possesses a very valuable blade. He's carried it for years now. I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was too precious to sell. In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Everything has its price, at least that's
true.
what I think. Why don't you ask him about the sword
Maybe you'll
yourself?
reawaken some of his
Perhaps
memories.
it'll even provide you with the answers you're looking
Music!
for. Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle today's bill.
But we didn't buy anything.
Information is also a kind of commodity, wouldn't you agree? Don't worry, I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we ever discussed was explicitly confidential anyway. Oh, let me think. 2,000 more
Fair
should
enough.
be a fair price.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions were coming from. Plus, we found out that Kurosawa has a priceless sword in his possession. Let's go talk to Kurosawa again and see if he can remember
Probably not.
anything.
The last guy didn't remember anything. To treat the well-meaning well. Where are we heading? This way. Sorry, I just want to stand here and listen to the theme. Hello. Naganohara fireworks.
Here!
What are you doing here all by yourself? Where did those other two go?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. They left. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually.
Aww.
Perhaps I should start using it more often. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
So this guy wants to be really
Everything I
nice,
said was
but
true,
it's not
right?
a nice world. Well, it is a nice world, but not to the characters in it. It's cool for us. Actually, it's nice for us, the player. Might not be so nice for the NPCs that have to suffer on our behalf.
Turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions, but they were all purchased at your own expense.
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me, I still don't remember anything. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation?
It sounds like you were very compassionate before, but
Really don't
now you're...
understand. But I cannot deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away,
Your
it
aspirations were
seems that
taken
my
away.
body was somehow
Sword.
reluctant to do so. This sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next door. My father ended up catching me in the act and scolded me severely. What did he say? I can't seem to remember that either. It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me.
It's actually kind of freaky that
So
the
many
memories are
memories
tied to
gone.
a vision as well.
Forever. No matter how hard I try to remember, all I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed. Before he passed away,
Like, it's more than
he
just
placed the sword in my hands
losing something
and said
like
to me,
emotionally, but it actually seems to
with
be
this sword,
taking something away from
you
a person's
should.
entire like spirit.
Hey, if you look carefully, there seems
Oh,
to
that's
be
kind of
some words
convenient.
engraved on the hilt. Can you
The words are
recognize the
virtue
words?
and justice.
Virtue and justice? Somehow those two words seem to explain everything now. Taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I guess that must have been my greatest ambition after all. But what use are virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those in need. And look how things ended up. The Tenryo Commission seized my vision. And the very people I was so desperately trying to help refused to understand me. And the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry when threatening them with my blade. I'm incapable of being a good
That's all
person.
virtue words.
Yet I'm equally unable to be bad.
I mean, it sounds like you're a person who's very
don't know what
kind,
to do with myself.
without expecting
Yet
a good
another
person
troubled
doesn't
soul.
who didn't
When
expect
we get
good
the
things in
chance,
return, which
let's
was
speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt.
yeah.
The Yashiro Commission would surely help cover his expenses.
Yeah, because it sounds like he never had a plan to deal with the debt
We must
anyways.
never let him sell off that sword.
Losing a vision is no trifling matter.
Yeah, seems like losing all ambition
Like-
is a terrible experience. Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul.
Yeah, it sounds really like just literally. I didn't think they meant literally losing ambition. I thought that was like a figure of speech. But it sounds like people are physically like and mentally like affected by it, which is actually kind of freaky. Which also goes to show what the Raiden Shogun is like, to really not care that she's causing some of her people to suffer pretty terribly.
The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword master around these parts.
Mm-hmm.
Paimon heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. Sounds pretty impressive. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around. Let's go talk to them.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end, didn't he?
Maybe, but I'm still worried about him. Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him. This time, though...
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place,
Exorcism?
he'll be right as rain in no time.
Oh, we're gonna see Changyin?
Did something
No,
happen?
he couldn't get all the way to Inazuma.
Who are
If
you?
I hired a local.
I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here immediately! Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No, you got it so wrong. We just came here to,
We're here to become disciples. This guy couldn't beat us in a fight.
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. It's the whole reason we came all this way, to seek him out and ask him to train us. But then we got here and overheard you talking about how he got possessed or something?
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't look like you're from around here. Please,
Nope.
accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently that we're on high alert. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to take on any new disciples for the time being.
I have a feeling he's not possessed. We can wait until he's recovered.
I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow disciple Nanako and I will explain Sensei's situation to you in a little more detail. Then you can decide whether to stay or to leave. Sensei's name is Domon, a name I'm sure you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent sword masters, never losing a single fight. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. His fervor truly inspired us, and we trained hard, determined to keep up with him. But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He hasn't been the same since. He says the strangest things over and over, and he refuses to let us train. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's been possessed by an evil spirit.
No, I think it's a little bit simpler than
From
that.
the Grand Narukami Shrine
From what
to
we've
perform an
seen.
exorcism. But if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll completely recover.
The Grand Narukami Shrine? What's that?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty Shogun herself. Not that we
Oh,
have
that's
any
what
means
the
of
glowy
involving the
purple
head
building
shrine maiden,
is.
of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine would have clear power and authority to perform an exorcism. So don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be just fine. The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both more than welcome to come and watch if you're interested.
So, losing your vision can cause possession? Guess we should come back this evening and see for ourselves.
I mean, yeah, just if he's repeating things over and over, maybe he is possessed. But, that isn't the root cause. The root cause would be the thing that allowed him to become possessed. Oh, wait. Oh, I can get summoned Inazuma. Maybe tomorrow. Okay. What's the time right now? Oh, achievements. Oops. Defeat a Karagi fiery might while their weapon is still infused with pyro. Escort the goods and successfully leave Rito. Okay. Come into contact with the statue. Yep. Become friends with the Ayaka. Okay. Time. Oh, it's almost time anyway. Perfect!
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. You would have had to witness Sensei in one of his fits of madness. Just now, when Nanako was attending to him, she heard him whispering a few names to himself. When she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken and pushed her away.
Oh, maybe he is
It
possessed.
looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around him with bloodshot eyes.
That's not
All the while
terrifying
he
at
kept
all.
calling those names. Some of them we knew, others we didn't recognize. But they all seemed to be the names of sword masters he had defeated in
When
the
you
past.
say defeated, you mean like
One of them was
defeated
Anzai.
or
He used to be a fellow disciple of
killed?
Sensei's. His senior,
Just
in
defeated,
fact.
right?
But Sensei defeated him in a duel many years ago, and he has been a wanderer ever since. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the shrine maidens managed to subdue him, so the exorcism can finally continue. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently await the result. Here's hoping Sensei will be back
Even if
to
he
his
is
normal self
possessed
very soon.
and you get rid of whatever's
Please,
possessing
excuse
him,
me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is sure to be thirsty.
he's still not gonna have any memories. Who's that?
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? Uh-oh. Could they be here to mess up the exorcism? We won't let them get away with it. Come on, let's go after them.
Good to know there's sweet flowers wherever we go.
Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right
And every
place?
time I hear this
Let's
music,
look a little further up.
I can't help but think about Kazuha telling the story about his friend. Which right now, at this very moment, reminds me that I do not have him.
Aha! Suspicious person sighted! That's gotta be him!
He's got a sword.
How did you catch up with me so quickly?
'Cause I'm the traveler.
Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? You move even quicker than he does. Unless... I guess it's been a few years.
No,
Maybe his
Paimon can
skills
fly,
have
that's why.
improved again.
Excuse me? We're the ones asking the questions here. First off, who are you? And what are you doing sneaking around these parts?
Nobody ever questions the fact that
seem like
Paimon
bad
flies
news,
around.
mister.
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the day. Long before you ever showed up. I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know, I am Domon's senior.
His senior? Wait, that means you must be...
The guy he's not uttering his name over and
Yes,
over.
that's me.
So then why did you run?
Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again.
Then why are you here?
When we were young, we trained under the same sword master, studying Make-Yoshi Sui art together. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable older disciple. Practitioners of Make-Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. So the majority of disciples are indifferent to rank and reward. I was no exception. But Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile on his face, how to become the best in the world. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best sword master, barely days into his training, showed that he had a fickle mind. And
So
that
maybe a
this
little
would
too
impede him from
ambitious
ever
all at
mastering
once.
the blade. I thought so too at the time, but Domon began making swift progress in his training and even started catching up with me.
I mean, ambition's
Only then
not
did I
bad.
realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his
I guess we
mind
need to
from
learn more
all
about
agitation.
where that ambition led him.
He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing less than perfection in the art of the sword, and nothing could deter him from this goal, no matter what stood in his way.
Sure sounds like he meant business. So how come you don't want to ever see him again?
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master of Make-Yoshi Sui art. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the longest. Everyone had high expectations from me. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my status too. I fled the dojo that day and never looked back. Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately that match used up every last ounce of energy in his body. After that, I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down, though, I still respected his mastery of the blade and his commitment to the art of the sword. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. How could he, of all people, have
Yeah, the
lost
whole
his
losing
mind.
vision thing is kind
His
of
mind
scary,
was
what
the
it
sharpest of them
does to
all.
people.
He had practiced Meikyo Shisui art to perfection. I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, I heard him call my name. I thought mine was a name he had long since forgotten. So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. I just wanted to see for myself. Okay, you've heard my story. You should get back now. The exorcism is probably finishing.
Seems like we got it wrong this time. He wasn't here to mess up the exorcism at all. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us. Let's go see how the exorcism's
Let's compare stories. We need to hear what this Domon says, or what he remembers.
You're saying he isn't possessed?
There you go. That's what I was
He's
saying.
just lost his mind? But how is that possible?
He lost his vision. You even brought this up.
I refuse to believe it.
You noticed that he got
Something's
crazy
clearly
as
wrong.
soon as that happened.
Nanako,
So
please, try not to get agitated.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit having possessed Domon. But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. Thus, I dare not rule out possession with complete certainty. And all is certainly not lost, for I received word not long ago that Lady Yai has taken an interest in your sensei's case.
Lady Yai? Is that the same Lady Yai that I think you mean?
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news. Then Sensei will be sure to recover.
maybe.
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience in the exorcism of evil spirits and aversion of great calamities. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei. But
I
Lady
kinda
Yai
doubt
can
it,
give a
still.
conclusive verdict.
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we prepare a greeting gift for Lady Yai?
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. Lady Yai does not like to be kept waiting. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine. I wish Domon a full and speedy recovery.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have taken notice of our sensei's case?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady Yai's attention?
No, that's not what I meant at all. You misunderstand me. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and close contact with the almighty Shogun herself. Anyway, you should join us too, tomorrow.
Okay.
Given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei, we, the disciples of Meikyo Shisui art, will do our best to help you.
I will gladly join you.
Sure. After all, everyone seems pretty excited about Lady Yai. We're curious to meet her too. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the Raiden Shogun from her.
Yeah. Good idea. Great. Now we gotta go all the way there. Where are we off to? Okay. Follow the river. Oh, I love these little flowers. Oh, these are so pretty. And they glow. Being near the river calms me. I like it, just listening to it trickle, flow. It's comforting, really. That sounds like something a character would say. The way I said that. It's because I've been playing way too many games. But it's true. Ooh. Oh, I don't want to fight the samurai right now. Is that the Mirror Maiden?
Crush!
Let the show
Yeah,
begin.
don't move. Come on, Ether. You got this. Come on. Use your move. Okay, that didn't really do much. Alright.
This body belongs to ice.
Prisms. Hey, neat. Oh, there's so many Electroculuses here. I think that's what they're called. Right? Well, just by the naming naming conventions. Uh-oh. This is like climbing Dragon's Spine. On the map, everything looks really close until you realize it's all vertical. Please. Slowly make our way up there. Where's the waypoint? Is there like an elevator? I don't actually doubt the idea that there is one, and I just haven't found a way to get Naku weed. That I just haven't found it yet. That's always how it is for me. I scale a whole mountain, then I look down and I realize there's like a little like fan or like windmill thing. And I blow it, and then it's like a whole wind current takes you all the way to the top. This place is certainly ethereal, because look at all the floating rocks. Whoa. What else? Okay. Only in Inazuma, it still feels like we're so far away from Mondstadt right now. Because I was just remembering back way at the beginning, and I was like, but we're just gonna climb the walls in a public place? Now I'm thinking, well, compared to this climbing here. Okay, that was a close one. Once I unlock that waypoint, it's gonna be way easier. I should wait until it's full stamina. Yay! Just realized it's been like 3 hours. I've been talking a lot, haven't I? Maybe I shouldn't jump anymore. Let's go very slowly. Uh-oh. No! I thought for sure I could stand on there. Darn it.
This is not the end.
Okay. Let's be smart about this. First, wait for the stamina. Second, don't waste any of it. Even if it takes forever, being alive seems to be the priority right now. Okay. One. Alright. Guess I missed that the first time around. Yeah, usually there are little ledges and stuff with me. Click this. Whoa, pretty. This. Now, nobody sees this. We go back to here very quickly. Wow, Ether's alive all of a sudden. Who would have guessed that? Oh, did you see us heal? No, you didn't. We're back here now as if nothing ever happened. Here we are at the shrine. I want to explore the shrine more. I love all the pink colors. What are these? Let's not get distracted yet. I can totally explore this more later, but we gotta, oh, what? Oh, go around the back. Okay. Oh, there she is.
Do you think that's Lady Ai? Oh, no wonder Junior is so excited. She has a really striking presence. Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right at us just now? It was probably nothing.
I don't know about that,
It's not like
Paimon.
she's
Our
ever seen us
reputation
before.
Keep
precedes us.
away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past, gathered all around him to persecute him.
Lady Yai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way, he would always face it with a confident smile.
Does she have an electrovision
I'm
in her
sorry.
earring,
It is
or is
clear
that
to me that
just
your sensei
an
is not
earring
possessed
that
by
looks like
any
an
evil spirit.
electrovision?
But then does that mean he... yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descended into madness. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament, it does nothing to prevent his descent into the depths. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to be stripped of one's ambition.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change? How does that explain his descent
Yeah, that's a
into
good question.
madness?
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve it. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades with a disciple he himself had taught. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both? Can one truly remain unagitated, of still mind in moments such as these? Lady I'm not sure I understand. The path of the swordmaster is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue the position of greatest swordmaster in the world. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others, even those of one's closest companions. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters.
I need to see the
focus
earring on
the
her
way
other ear to
ahead.
see whether that's a vision
When
or
that
not.
ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly descended into
he's
the
not
state you
possessed.
see him in now. Much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine. Poor Sensei. To think he's been suffering so greatly.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Father, Sensei, Ansai.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Ansai? Where did he come from? Did he follow us the whole
I
way
can't see
here?
how he could do that,
Ansai.
considering the very broken path we took.
Is that you or a ghost? You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would come. I never should have.
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. But I didn't come here to settle a score. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I couldn't face the humiliation. That's why I ran. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted them to you, in the hopes that they might carry you further. Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been
So
stripped
everyone
of your
here in
ambitions
this
too.
in Inazuma is just
But that
sad.
is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak. You taught them that, didn't you?
But what if one day, the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. But what if it was all a huge mistake right from the start? If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any
I
further
guess
down this
you should
path.
give them their choice, yeah.
What they think.
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I would follow in your footsteps for the rest of my days. I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now. All I know is that here and now, in the present, I wish to continue. I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head held high and announce that I
like
my
their
sensei
katanas, by the
Domon
way.
before me, am a master of Meikyo Shisui art.
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually, all of us think that way.
Goodness. Well,
You see? You can place the ambition you once had in their hands. Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me, so I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions crushed. That's what happened on the day that you so effortlessly defeated me. So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, it is time for you to release yours into their custody. You are not in the same position that I was. When I left, I had nothing to my name. But you have a great number of worthy disciples.
I understand. I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and for the state of Meikyo Shisui art. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world.
It sounds like you have your memories, which is more than we can say for some of the other people we've met today.
Mind and be free of agitation. But as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you everything I have learned in my life so far. This is my promise. And I humbly ask Anzai, my senior, to hold me to my word.
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, just to make sure you hadn't
Oh,
lost
they
your
have to be
mind
friends
again.
too.
But I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore, so I will simply stop by
Oh, I like
once
that
in a while to
lantern.
make sure you aren't cutting any corners with them. Well, don't just stand there staring at me.
Yeah.
Say
Lady
thank
Ai
you to
is a
Lady
miracle
Ai and then
worker.
get yourself back home.
He's not hearing voices anymore. I think her vision's in her earring, which is a very interesting place, actually.
Even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over
Yeah.
on his behalf.
It actually seems the best resolution out of the three.
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has some words for you.
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment.
Okay.
I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
Okay.
Ooh, Lady Ai seems to have taken a real interest in you. She seems super mysterious, Paimon's so curious what she really meant by all that. We can come back to it another time. For now,
Yeah.
we should go report back to Miss Kamisato.
We've been doing this all day. Actually, it's been 2 days. A flower blooms in a prison. Is that so? I mean, like I've pointed out, all these people who still have their visions, they are oh, oops, wrong way. They are definitely hiding from the Tenryou Commission. Because otherwise, I'm sure they would no longer have those anymore. But I think it's more than that. But I'm just pointing that out.
Oh, Ayaka! Guess who fulfilled all your wishes?
We get to see her now.
Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
Huh?
Hi!
Traveler, Paimon. It is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our 3 friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
It seems like the damage done by losing a vision can't be completely undone.
Yeah. Short of getting them their visions back, it seems like there's no way to really help them. Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in person?
Because now that you have done the 3 things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe, I dispense with the screen for Toma also.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second. But isn't Toma your, servant? Paimon told me to help and all, but Paimon sure did not sign up to be a servant.
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend, and was so before he ever became my attendant.
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you seem pretty different out in the open compared
Behind
to
the
how you are behind the screen.
Friend request accepted. I feel like that's like... that's almost like a 4th wall break there.
Thank you both kindly. Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings
I
on
hope
what
they
you
can
have
one day
seen?
be free of their torment. But yeah, it seems to be a fate worse than death.
Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the almighty Shogun, the lives of those who inhabit the world are inconsequential. Thunders roar, lightnings flash, the winds assault, and the rains descent. All these things take place with no regard for the feelings of the common people. But I believe that surely you understand what they must endure.
Especially after seeing all of them.
It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. In which case, perhaps you
Well,
would be
Ether,
willing
you
to
should have known you were going to
reconsider
get
your
roped
stance?
to this anyway. Just like you got roped into fighting Dvalin, too. I will help you fight the Vision Hunt decree.
You will?
But you must keep the
Really?
promise you made me.
Naturally.
Alright, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you he wouldn't reject them. I'd placed my trust in the right person after all. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature, perhaps we could move to the Komori Tea House? We ought not to involve other members of the Yashiro Commission.
Okay. Oh, we're teleporting there?
Well,
Mhm.
here we are again.
Please continue without me.
Thanks,
I'll
buddy.
keep watch.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your favorite meeting spot?
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land.
And you have a
And even
dog!
to allow or deny access. Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs. Oftentimes, it is not appropriate to discuss details in front of bystanders.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Gotta keep a bit of
course.
mystery, right?
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here. Only members of the Yashiro Commission are permitted to come and go as they please.
Makes sense.
It's like hiding in plain
For a
sight.
secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here. I presume you have a few
Yes.
questions that you wish to ask me?
Do I get to ask all of these? What kind of god is the Raiden Shogun?
The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions, most of them formal ceremonies. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, there was something else about her that struck me even more deeply. It was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose.
A lack of
Focused
emotion.
exclusively on her single goal of implementing eternity, acting accordingly without feeling.
Is no one... I'm sure there's... I know we know there's someone else. Have you raised a formal objection to the Vision Hunt Decree?
Of course. We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, it is promptly vetoed by both the Tenryou Commission and the Kanjo Commission, and subsequently scrapped. They invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the Shogun's decisions. They have no interest in discussing anything. It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden decision to issue the Vision Hunt Decree.
And that's what it's like to be minions of a overlord, I suppose. Is no one else fighting the Vision Hunt Decree?
The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the Vision Hunt Decree is something that has no implications whatsoever. After all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Moreover, it is not unknown for visions to spark jealousy in others. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt Decree is one of indifference.
Well, they don't have a vision, so it really doesn't affect them.
Paimon's getting mad.
But then...
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also the resistance
also
on
because
Watatsumi Island.
having a vision is something that only affects a percentage of the population. It's not something that affects the majority of people,
Many who have lost or
like
fear
other
losing
real
their
world
visions
stuff.
have rallied together under Sangonomiya
When
on
something affects
Watatsumi Island to
large
form a
numbers of people, it is
resistance group.
important to pay attention.
To say a
But I can
little more
understand
about
for visions
Sangonomiya.
when only a small
Historically,
percentage of
There has
people.
always been some
then,
conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island.
That's why I
due
guess
to their
people without
different belief
visions don't
systems.
really.
But I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement.
Know what to think.
Beyond merely fighting the Vision Hunt Decree.
Ooh, Paimon has a question though.
Oh? What would you like to know, Paimon?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt Decree?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt Decree is tantamount to challenging a deity. Coming to terms with that is already a difficult step to take.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm that is being caused by this decree. For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for them as a contingency measure.
You're telling Paimon that there are
Well,
people
look
out
at
there
Venti
who
and
can
Zhongli.
make fake visions?
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye,
Yeah, must
their
have been where
counterfeits
Venti
are
went.
indistinguishable from the genuine article. The problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with
I'm not seeing what's the
visions,
point of the
has
counterfeit
recently been
vision
arrested
thing.
by
That
the
doesn't
Tenryou
restore a
Commission.
person's ambition, does it?
So they found out about it?
Yes. We knew it was not a long-term solution, and that it was
Oh, look at
only
all
a
that
matter
light.
of time before it would be exposed. But we cannot simply
He
abandon
saved
Master
many others.
Matsukatsu. Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities as part of the Yashiro Commission, breaking him out of prison would risk dragging down the reputation of the entire Kamisato clan should we be caught. That would only serve to cast suspicion on any future activity we
So
might
you're
seek to
offloading that
attempt.
job to me, huh?
By no means do we intend to place the burden of such a task on your shoulders alone. When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Naganohara family. There, you will find someone who can help you.
This is very long.
You want to know who you'll be meeting in Hanamizaka? Let's just say they'll be easy to find. You'll see what I mean when you get there.
Oh, I'm sure they will be. I think this is a good place to stop. Because I've been playing for over 3 hours. I think I should go to sleep. And play more tomorrow. And maybe not go to do the story right away. I want to take some more time to kind of just explore Inazuma. Take in some of the sights. Maybe unlock some more waypoints. So maybe that's what I'll be doing later. Let's see. Quite a few Primo Gems. But more importantly, I've just kind of come to terms with the fact that I don't have Kazuha. But being able to explore all of Inazuma and see all the little, like even this, I can see these, all the little details they put into, like, even the little food on all the tables and stuff like that. And the landscapes, and creating this whole world for us to explore. That's special. So I want to take some time to explore that. And I feel like we're really lucky to get to play it. Yeah, that's a good. Okay, I'm getting tired. That's a good place to stop. I'll see you around, everyone.